Now you have like a whole mythology around this word. So I know why you love this word so much. And you've got your little quippy phrase that you whip out all the time about this word. And so I'm anticipating like that being one of the rabbit holes we go down. Um um for me, I mean like that's immediately where my mind goes, which is just like all the memories coming back of you bringing that up and saying don't should on yourself.
Yeah. Welcome back to Neurospicy Dialogues. Today's word is should, and we're going to talk about all of those rabbit holes. I'm Cara Jean.
I am Kimberly. So the word is should, and I would actually like to go in a different direction with it rather than that one, because I feel like
Right.
even though we maybe haven't like had the conversations with all of y'all, and we're so glad you're here, but there might be like some ways that we can, look at this word in a different way. Okay. So this is what just popped into my mind, which is how crazy the English language is in how things are pronounced and things that should rhyme on paper because they look the same don't. And that is so bizarre to me. It's like how let's make it harder for kids to learn this language, shall we?
Yes, yes, yes. Should and school. Shul?
And like just the oh you like there's cough and then there's should and then like how many like
Yeah.
are whoever first like wrote these put letters together to say this represents that sound that we have been making. They were some
Yeah.
messed up people.
Who determined? Yeah. Yeah. Who who determined that they should determine it?
Yes. Who gave them that permission?
Yes. Yeah. Can I see the credentials? Like, how do we know that this person knows?
Yes. Okay, because that for me that's what the word should is about permission.
Yes. Yes.
And so that's for them it like they or some or whatever decided that they were the perfect authority to do this. Although if
Yeah.
you look back at like old English, like I love how like it has changed. And even like the
Substantially.
symbol that represented the letter has changed over
Yes.
time. If like you
Yes.
really go back and back and back and
Yes.
back. Before we got to like typeface, where there had to be like that
And then block it.
consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before that, it was an ever evolving visual characterization
Yes.
of sounds.
That makes me think of cursive, right? There are so many kids today who just don't have access to that tool. And that's really all it is. It is so that you can write faster and not pick your pen up. It's time saving. That's what it was designed for. I love it. And growing up, reading my grandparents, different types. I mean, technically, they're all speaking the same language, but not really. When you read it, they're not. And learning to differentiate people's cursive allowed me to understand other people better.
Yeah. I'm not sure how much I agree with the whole, analyzing writing styles.
Sure.
I find as a science, which it is,
It is.
um, I find it interesting.
Yeah.
But I also will think about that. Like every now and then, I'll look at my handwriting and think, I want to say something different about myself, and so I'll like make the conscious choice to change the way I'm writing.
Yes.
And I'm like, that didn't really change my behavior in any way. You do that
I
too?
I, you did not just call me out, but I feel so called out right now. This was such a huge part of my high school experience, like adapting me, that I had books filled with different types of writing so that I could embody different. Yeah, I had cool girl writing, like they do the big bubble letters. I did angry girl writing, which was a lot sharper.
Yes. So that's why the science to me is just a little bit murky because we can manipulate it.
Yes.
Now, the people who really study it, they would probably say, oh, but you can see past that. And because like anything that you do all day, every day, yeah, you can see the subtleties that
Yeah.
the casual observer like myself would not be aware of. So even though you were making things different with each of those, they would say, oh, but here were the consistencies through them all.
Yes.
This is the through
Or
line.
yeah.
And
Ooh,
so that's where it becomes a
boy, that'd be a
science in my
great
mind.
thing that I could send and get analyzed. Here's some books. Tell me what the through line of all of these different handwritings are. That'd
Mm-hmm.
be fascinating.
What
I
does this
just
say about me? Who was I
yeah. It's just
underneath
nice
all
to
the
know I'm not the
personas?
only one who changes their handwriting intentionally.
Yes. And I like, I've never done books of it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it probably comes down to just like written in general is, can occasionally be challenging for me. So,
That's fair.
um, I have not ever gotten into that, but I do like, and the loss of the cursive just as a style is
Yeah.
because there's something that's very elegant in a, I mean, it is beautiful
This
and it
it's
can be
ballet for writing.
art. Yeah, I mean, it's the closest, like it's on the way to being calligraphy.
Yes.
It's writing that's not as artistic as calligraphy, but it is so expressive.
Yeah.
And yeah, if it's melodic or if it's sharp jabs, like someone where it looks like it's a Richter scale
Right.
is his
Yes.
signature. And I'm like, what is that? Like what and what part of you finds that optimal?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I
ooh,
love
just
that
just
for
another
you.
thing to find ooh about this person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but it definitely fits in the whole ew identity. Um, but yeah, I think writing is it can be really beautiful.
Yes.
And I get it. Like Emma Thompson,
It's
when
an
she
art.
writes a script, she writes all of it
Mhm.
in longhand.
Yes.
I think I've mentioned that before, talking about how like different writers have their way and look down their noses at anybody who doesn't do it their way. And I'm like, that's cool. Okay.
It's a choice. Yeah.
Right.
That if we're talking about shoulds, like that for me, when you should yourself, you're giving yourself permission to do something that you know that if anybody's going to should you, it's you. But when we do it for others, it becomes an expectation, right? So when it's
Yeah.
directed in, now I'm giving myself permission to do the thing that I knew I should be doing.
Yeah.
And I do it out, at least in my experience, the more I have lived in that, the more I'm like, you should practice more cursive then. Oh, I should practice. I said it to you, but actually I should just look in that mirror.
But I think that having that expectation of somebody and giving permission, those are really like
Very.
parallel and they are so close to each other because
Yes.
they are kind of the same thing.
Yes.
Just one is harsher and comes with judgment, and the
Yeah.
other is more of an open palm that comes with allowing.
Yes. Yes.
So that's why I like to think of it's also when I say you should do something, it's like if you need permission, I am giving you
Here
permission to
it is.
consider this idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's what you could do.
Yeah. Here's an
Yeah.
option that you perhaps have not yet considered.
From my perspective, a thing that I could see is, and
Exactly.
that's
Because
a whole lot of words.
how could I possibly know what you should or shouldn't do? Because I don't know everything about you. And also, I don't know everything about me. I'm still discovering things about me all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me, the word should, it doesn't, it's not a loaded word, which is why I always laugh when you do your phrase on it. Because I'm like, whatever. But it's an empty word that doesn't, it's one of those, it doesn't mean what you think it means.
Yes.
In my
Yeah, yeah.
mind. It isn't that. So
100% my narrative around should is because of my own spicy trauma and how much I have been shoulded in my life, and how quickly people are to line up and inform me of what it is that I should be doing according to them. I have clearly I have some reactivity around its narrative that I have carefully curated into cute phrases like "don't shit on yourself." Yeah, yeah, yeah. I cultivated that trauma and used it to my benefit, and now use it as communication tool. Yeah,
well
I use it much the way I use cursive. Let me throw a swirl in there.
and you change its inflection each time you use it.
Yes, yes, I do. Yeah,
Just like your cursive.
just like my cursive. It's the same reason, like Emma Thompson, I have to write the first round out in, because we were talking about AI earlier, right? In hindsight, now that we have AI, having that first written copy in your own physical script is probably really smart these days to have some version of that to show that
Right.
at least at the concept level, everything came from your brain.
Yes. But the way my brain works, I always hated in math class in where we had to like show the theorem, like prove the theorems, we had to write all the stuff out. That
Oh
was
yeah, show all the
always
steps.
the most frustrating for me because the way my brain worked, and I say worked because I I can't do that now, and I'm looking at ways that I can see about bringing that back and
Yeah.
reigniting that part of my brain because I kind of miss that part because I was like crazy good at math when I was a kid. Like I would do math
Man.
competitions at Vanderbilt and like all of this, like really like, damn, she's so smart kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I just over time, math has become not a thing that I do. And I really do miss that. But so in math, I was really great at math and I could look at the problem and I would like know the solution. But then when they said, oh, you have to tell us all the steps that got you there, I'm like, why are you being stupid?
You know how much work it is for me to slow down what is happening in here and be able to articulate that in a way that somebody else's brain can understand? I can give you the
Yes,
answer. Did I get it right?
exactly. And I mean, I can understand from their point, it's about
Yes.
them
Learning.
ensuring that I understood it. And so for me, that's part of what this is now. And so all of the verifying it actually is your creative process and AI wasn't involved in the creative process of it. I'm like, that doesn't necessarily work for my type of neurospicy. First off, because I'm not going to handwrite all the stuff. That's just not going to happen ever.
That's fair. I will.
because it's because
I
even though
will
it
not expect you to.
and it's not just because of dyslexia, it's because that slows it down in a way that my creative process is like moving so incredibly fast. I have to do dictation
That makes sense.
with it.
Yeah.
So, like, I could maybe collect my dictations together. But even with that, like, there's a part of me that goes, okay, so AI is involved in things now that we don't even know. Like, in the beginning, it was. We're now more aware that these companies have been using AI
Mm-hmm.
without our knowing they were using AI.
Yes.
And so there's that part of my brain, which is like, okay, so what like do because you know how it's always making suggestions of spell checks and all of that kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And I'm like, is that AI or is it a different kind of learning model? Because it is a language learning model that does that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So technically, it's not creating something, but it is like evaluating something, it's making suggestions. And now we've got, like, I was writing a Gmail the other day and the AI popped up and said, and offered to polish it or tweak it or whatever it
Yes.
was. And I was like,
With a little
shut
sparkle
up,
symbol.
no.
Like, I'm already done. Why would I spend more time on this?
Right. And I know it's not pretty, it's not perfect. It's just like the first thing, but it didn't have to be. And so
Yeah.
I ignored that, but it was really jarring for me to see that little AI box pop up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think it's because I was maybe doing it on my, because I don't think my phone has that, because I've like deliberately turned AI off on my phone.
You do
So
that?
and well, anytime they do an update on, I have an iPhone. Anytime they do
Ah,
an update on the iPhone, I always go into settings and see what new AI thing they've added to it, and I immediately toggle that sucker to off. So it doesn't offer to change anything, and most of the things I tend to do through my phone. But I think that's why it was so jarring to me, is because I'd been sending emails but hadn't seen that little AI prompt suggest. And I'm also
I
like, why are you judging my writing?
right. I
There was that part of it too. Like, first off, this is not your business. Why are you
yeah.
reading my email?
Yes.
And and
Uh-huh.
and like, is this like, do all of my, like, there's no sense of privacy anymore either, which again, I know we've talked about this before. I'm the
Right.
generation that still had privacy, so that comes up in my mind all the time. And so now it's like
Yeah.
coming into my email. I'm like, are you reading all of my emails?
Yes.
I mean, I knew kind of that Google did that.
Yeah. 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 I I know that we have talked about this before, but I'm going to go down that rabbit hole a little bit anyway. I I remember computer class. I remember sitting down and getting taught about computers and how once you put information into this learning model, I, I know that we call it AI now and have it as if it were some separate thing, but from my perspective, it sure looks like that's essentially what we have been creating the entirety of the time. We have been allowing people to upload themselves onto a platform that we are collecting, and that once it's uploaded, it can never be deleted. Even when you press the delete button, kids, turns out you still up, it exists somewhere, and somehow they have. So anytime the internet is connected to something, I come from a grooming and a conditioning and a training where that immediately lets me know that whatever is happening is not private, not really private, not really,
Mm-hmm.
really. And
Yeah.
to have, I know, which allows me to know what I have to do if I really do want privacy. But there are so many who don't see that line, right? Either because they came in on the far side of it and are like, this is just always how what do you mean privacy? And you're like, yeah, you're right. You've never had that ever. And then those who came well before and were like, no, I can just turn it off. Oh, oh, that's, yeah. You know how like your thing's off, but you say, hey, Google, and it says hello. That's why it's not actually. It,
Exactly. That's why I would never get an Alexa thing, because I don't want, and even my Siri, I don't have it turned on. My phone, like,
yeah.
that's another place where I've turned that off,
Hmm.
because I do want privacy. I want conversations to happen that are
Hmm.
just between me and the person I'm talking to.
Yes. Yes. I so badly want a smart house. So badly do
Oh,
I want a
wouldn't that be
smart house.
awesome? And wouldn't it also be horrible?
Awful. Yes. I mean, I've seen all the horror movies. I know how bad that can go. And I
Right,
do love the idea of that kind of like walk in and have a, I want to, but I don't want an AI, Alexa, Google, Siri, a smart
right.
house. I want a casita from Encanto,
Mhm.
right? Like I want to walk and be like, "What's up, casita?" And
Yes.
like the door opens and their coffee comes out of the cupboard, and you're like, "Babe, I love you. You knew." Oh,
Yes. Yes. Okay,
when
so I just
AI can get
realized
us there, I'm good.
this is the next wave for attorneys. This is the next like moneymaker for attorneys is going to
Oh,
be
okay.
NDAs for
Oh,
AI.
oh.
Because I want to be able to have my, if I'm going to have like a smart house, it's going to sign an NDA. And
I want to
nobody
swear so
outside
loud
of
and say,
me.
"Yeah, yes, that's
Because I want to be able to control who has access to what to the information that is shared and the experiences that happen within that smart house. And
oh
I don't
my
want them
God,
shared with anybody. I
device
remember reading
NDAs."
articles of people who worked at Amazon talking about the things that they would overhear when they were spot checking their Alexa. And they were hearing like some really intimate things. They would be
Yeah,
hearing like business things that they didn't have any business knowing. They were hearing personal private moments that they didn't
yeah.
have any business
that
hearing.
nobody
Yeah.
wanted them to hear. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So having a smart house would be awesome if I could have it with an NDA.
I now, oh, I want, oh, I want that. I want that now. I don't want it, I want it for my phone. I want it
Yes.
for my laptop.
Yes.
I want any bot that is accessing my systems to be forced to sign an NDA. And I
Yeah.
want to be able to mark that.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's where I think like the
oh
government, like when
God.
they're talking about the regulations and the rest of it. And I'm like, if I can't have an NDA for it, then they shouldn't be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If it is not
Mm-hmm.
possible for them to put constraints on it,
Then they don't get access.
then yeah, then no.
Yeah.
Because if we can have NDAs in life with human
Yeah.
beings, with companies, why can we not have an NDA with them?
Um,
And if they put that into the legislature,
who
so
do we
because
need
it's
to
not
write to? Who do we need
because
to contact?
because that's beyond the opt in and opt out. And I'm sorry, like the websites that I have to continually opt out of burns my butter.
Yeah. Hmm.
That drives me nuts. I'm like, how many times do I have to tell you don't sell my data?
Yes. I still do not want you to. It has not changed since the last time you asked me
Exactly.
that question. I still don't want you to do it.
I'm not suddenly okay with this. I
Yeah.
should be able to have like a universal, like, no, thank you, don't ask me this
Unavailable.
question
Yeah.
again option. Because I know the cookie is there. I know Chrome is like creating all of the, I can't even imagine how many cookies my Chrome has. Oh my gosh. And I've done that before where like I'll go in and like clear out the cookies. But I'm like, why can you not remember that I said no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You were your brain
I,
was going off on something I could see.
so many places. No, I was enjoying that so much. Where did you ever watch Reboot, the
Yeah.
cartoon? Okay. So where my mind went as you were telling this is into Reboot, and you you would know all of the NDA computers because they'd be like, uh, like, or be all pixelated or something, so they'd be engaging. But you're like, oh, you're an NDA, and there's like a thing you have to like sign or touch so then you can see them correctly. And so there's my little person walking around like, so I had a fantastic storytelling that was going on in my brain while you were telling that, saying that. I
Nice.
enjoyed it immensely. I that would be I want that. I'm like, no joke. Who do we need to write to? Who is it that we push this kind of legislature through? Where does that have to happen?
AOC is like the only person I could think of who would get it.
Yeah. That's unfortunate that we have an entire Congress who do not have enough wherewithal because of their where they fall on the line of
Yeah.
internet
Yeah. I mean,
to
there's probably others, but she's just the most um like she's the most public facing, like she's out there all the time. And so, or like Buttigieg or
yep.
Ossoff, maybe. Like they're, but they
Yeah,
have to
right.
be like somebody who is a younger legislator
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
be able to get it. And yes, I know
So
y'all,
they've got the
I know he's
pulse.
not in office or anything, but he's still extremely influential. And
Yes.
like, you have to believe he's got prospects because
Yeah. Very
he's,
present.
he's too good to not. Like, I want him to be in the mix. I want him to be
Yeah.
making decisions.
This is a voice I would like at the table. Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now that would be a
I
good
understand
ticket.
that's not true for others, but it's very true for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kamala and him on a ticket. I would love
Yeah.
that so much.
Yeah. And then
Um,
AOC. We'll go real young. We'll flip things around. Irritate. I
um,
stand with the kids.
anyway,
Yeah.
so
As we digress. We
yes.
should get back on topic.
Okay, so a few weeks ago, for those of you who are joining us, a couple weeks ago, the second episode of Strange New World for the nurse season. So the new season, season 4 is out. The first episode of the new season, loved it so much. It was so much fun. There was even a little Doctor Who reference that they slid in there, and it was super sly. And I was like, oh my God, that little Easter egg was just for us. Yes. The second episode, which just came out yesterday, um, if you like The Shining,
Yes.
then that is an episode you are really going to enjoy.
Okay.
I don't like horror.
Oh,
I don't enjoy that at all. And so and it's funny because they're like some kind, like I like suspense, like Alien, the first one, and
mhm.
Aliens, the second one. Oh my God, freaking brilliant. Mostly because of all the humor I think that was infused into it. It was just the most fun roller coaster of
Yeah.
tension and release and tension and release. It was fantastic. Fantastic. So that kind of stuff I like, but I don't like typically like just scary movies. Um, and if I'm watching one at home, I'll watch the beginning to understand like who the characters are in the setup and see what the thing is, and then I pretty much like will skip and then see the end because I just want the closure of, oh, okay, so this is what happens at the end. Okay, and I don't need to see all of the
The blood and guts and
bits
yeah,
like
yeah.
throughout. I don't need to see like people doing violence to other people throughout the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah, even though I know it's a movie and I know it's all staged, not, yeah, I know all that stuff.
Right. You like
It's
literally do this.
right. But
I get it.
what I love about movies and TV is escaping into them.
Yeah.
So it's not fun for me to sit back and watch and keep reminding myself, oh, this is just fake. This is fake. This is fake. Oh, this is how they shot that. This was the angles. These are the prosthetics they used. This was the makeup. And like that's not fun for me
That's fair.
because I want to escape when I watch a movie. Now, when I watch it the seventh or eighth time or the 20th time, then yeah, I can also marvel at like all of the craftsmanship that went into it in the collaborative process that is making entertainment.
Yeah.
But the first time I watch something, I want to just escape
Watch
into it.
it.
And that episode is something I should not have watched.
Mm.
Going
Oh,
back to our word.
yeah.
And part of it was also the shock of it to me. It was like, that's not what this show historically is.
Sure, sure.
And I'm like, so is this going to be a season where they are like doing an homage to like their favorite stuff? Because the first episode kind of was that. Like I don't want to spoil it for anybody
I
because it's
know,
still
right? Like I want
relatively
to ask somebody
new.
questions, but I also don't want
But
to know because I'm
but
so
there were
excited to
like
binge this.
there were lots of tips of the hat to some great movies and some great entertainment throughout, in addition to the little Doctor Who throw in that was there. There were lots of little things.
I like that.
But the second one just really took me by surprise because it
Mm.
was not
It went
anticipated.
dark.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it didn't have the humor that is so often in their episodes too. Just the
Yeah.
camaraderie and the found family that is
Hmm.
the people who work together and live on the Enterprise. And so
Yeah.
it I think that more than anything, it it's like eating something. It's like, oh, and there's suddenly a flavor you're not expecting.
Right. Yes. Yes.
And it's jarring, and now suddenly like the whole meal is kind of off balance
Ruined.
for you
Totally ruined.
because
Yes.
that where did that
Yes.
okay, I like curry. I wasn't expecting curry.
Olive tapenade. That is mine. My mom went to hand me. I love olives, so she went to go give me a spoonful of olive tapenade. I just saw dark things and could smell sweeties because she'd been making some. So I thought chocolate. And when you're thinking chocolate and you get olive, I was like, it's kind of
Yes,
that. Okay.
exactly. You were not properly prepared for it.
Yes.
And I think that's what this was. Under different circumstances, I might have reacted differently, but it was just
But you weren't
such a
prepared.
jarring, wasn't expecting. This is not
Yeah.
because it's a flavor I had never experienced with them before. And they have done like with the Gorn, like there have been like some sad moments that would make me cry, and there were some, tense moments and stuff, but there was nothing that was as, I don't know, gruesome. Like it just
Yeah.
like I didn't need to see that. When you see the episode, we can have a
Oh, we'll come
conversation
back to
about it.
this. Yes. Yes.
But again,
I
because it
I
just
love
aired, there's some things in it that you're like, oh my God, yeah, that crossed a line.
mm,
They could have shown us the effect of it without showing us the happening of it.
I love horror. I love horror. I love horror. I love, love, love it. I do not like gore. Gore for the sake of gore, just to show gory things is like my nervous system does not need to be desensitized to that. I understand that there are many who that might be really helpful for. I'm not one of those. I like the suspense, the horror, the ness. But
Yes,
when it's just blood on blood, like
right.
at least make it like you better go full Freddy on me and have it splurting and splashing so that it's theatrical. Yeah,
Yeah. And when I think of horror, that's what I think of gore.
yeah,
Otherwise, I think of it more as a thrill. Like in my mind, when I'm categorizing what genre is this, I think of
I
it
can
more
see
like
that.
a thriller
I can see
than a
that.
horror film. Like Alien and Aliens, I think of thrillers, even though, yes, there was violence that was in it. Um, it definitely feels more in the thriller vein than in
Yes,
the, and maybe that's it. Like it's just gore for the
I
sense
can
of
see that.
gore.
Yeah, like I Ghost Ship or 13 Ghosts. Both of those are very gory,
Mm-hmm.
but it is much more of a thriller with gore than
Yeah.
a gore like the oh no, I just had it and went right out of my brain. Um The one with the face. Do you want to play a game? Oh my God, they made like 8 of them. That's excessive.
Oh, Jigsaw, is it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that
Okay.
one. Okay, so whatever that one is called, the name
I
is
haven't seen
completely
any of
flown out of my
those.
brain. Those are gore on top of gore for the sake of gore, and then a narrative that's thrown in. And the narrative didn't even develop until we were several movies in to this. For me, that is a level of, like, that's just gore for. I liked where the story. Hellraiser is another one of those, right? Like if you
Mm-hmm.
watch the entirety of the whole thing, there is an. It's not a bad narrative that runs through the whole thing, and it's one of those. Could this meeting have been an email, right? Instead of 7 to 10 of these horrific things, could we have done it in one and like just done the narrative? That would have been great.
Mm.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Um, so that goes to should it. Um, I'm fine with like, should people make those kind of movies? Absolutely. I mean, there's an audience for it, obviously.
Somebody out there loves
They
it.
make
Yep.
so incredibly much money. It's ridiculous. And that's awesome. But should everybody see it? No. No.
Yeah.
And I sometimes go back to like the mind of, so like the Grimm's, like the original Grimm's stories.
Which are so dark. Like
Yes.
so dark.
Yes. And I'm wondering like how much of it really was for kids and how much of it was written for adults. And is it like Princess Bride, where I don't know if you read the book, but in the book, you learn that there is the story that he was told, the one who gives the book then to his kid and says, I'm going to be out of town. When I come back, I want to talk to you about it. And the kid is like, man, I slogged through it, but it was just like there was all this stuff. And he learns that no, the way he learned this, the book was the edited version that was shared with him.
Yes.
And so if you just saw the movie, which also was great,
Yes.
because the same author, it's one of those great times where the book and the screenplay written by the same person. And so it really honors everything.
Yeah.
But that was one element that was just enjoyed for those who turned the page, which
Yes.
is a nice little treat. Um, but yeah, I wonder sometimes that about Grimm's is that adults would read it and then share the story with the kids.
I mean, it feels like that to me. Seems like, well, obviously, yes, because at the time that they were writing these stories, learning to read and write was not standard.
Right.
That simply wasn't. And the children of that age be, were living a different reality. Death,
Yes.
dismemberment, gore in general was just sort of life.
Yeah. And there definitely were
Or
not
so.
child labor laws.
No, no, no. So a lot of these narratives, the reason the Grimm stories are so, so dark is because they were a lot more true to reality rather than the beautiful sugar coating that we love to do on things now and make sure it's sparkly and suave.
Yes.
Yeah, I imagine it was absolutely written for adults to share with children to validate their fears and experiences while also forcing control. That's just my assumption.
Yeah. It's an intriguing thought to like just roll
Yeah.
around in.
As the first time I found out that the real reason the witch knew that Rapunzel had been visited by a man is because Rapunzel had been visited by a man. And I was like,
Knew
mm,
him, as it were,
oh,
biblically.
which is, yeah. Oh, okay. that actually tracks. That would make a lot more sense. And why
Yeah.
the poor thing raised in a tower had no idea what was happening to her and was like, "No, mom, I've never met a man. Why would you even think that? I just must have eaten too much."
Yeah, that's not the Disney version at all.
No, no, right. Or that the way they punished the Wicked Witch in Cinderella is that she had to dance at their wedding, which doesn't sound like that much of a punishment until you realize that she was dancing in iron shoes that had been heated till red in a fire and then strapped onto her feet, and she had to stay upright. Oh, I don't know that dance. No, I don't want to learn. No, I'm good. Thanks. No, but yeah, no, I don't know those moves. Yeah.
No, that's not a typical wedding dance. It's not the birds. It's not the da 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 da.
Yeah, yeah. No one's, she's not up there Macarena-ing. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not it.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Now the
Isn't that
chicken dance
funny?
would have been funny if that had been what they put in the story. That would make me laugh.
I would, I would find that hilarious.
What was actually in the story? No, that's like violent gore and
Really
no.
bad. Yeah, they
Yeah.
shouldn't just like rub some skin off of her heel to get into the slipper. Her mother chopped off her heel.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And that was not actually considered a bizarre choice at the time. Now we look back and we're like, no one would do that. And they're like, oh, anybody would do that to get a prince. And you're like, oh, you live a
Yeah.
different life than I do.
Yes.
Which I don't know how long we've gone, but that feels like a where I could bring a should to. Um, that is why I think I have so much trauma narrative around the shoulding. I don't mind if we should ourselves. I have been should on too much by other people who are trying to command me from their lived experience without having any understanding of my lived experience. And I do not like having to defend my lived experience to somebody who's never had to carry that weight. And I know I'm not alone in that. So while I love, should is not a bad word. Like that, no, I'm not blaming the word. That's not how that works. How we use it could be done in a way that really does empower permission and choice rather than how it is so often used to force an expectation because you should know that that's how we should do things because it should be up. No, bro, it's not. It is only obvious to you because that's your lived experience. To anyone who has not had that specific lived experience, it's not going to work. Um, Here's a weird example. Is this just me? Here we go. Um, have you ever been telling a story about a thing that is totally normal from your perspective, and the other people are like, or laughed at something that everybody else like gasps at, and you're like, "Oh, not your trauma? Go too far." That's great. I was doing this the other day. We were talking about blackberries. One of my favorite therapeutic things is to go out and fight with blackberries. And it is not at all. It is so satisfying. They are a good adversary. I'm pretty sure the root goes to the center of the universe. So you are battling. I love fighting some blackberries. So one of the things that we're trying to do is stop the blackberry incursion because they're an invasive species, especially if we're trying to steward this land and rehabilitate oak savannas. The blackberries are not a part of that, but I need them. They can't. I was like, please don't cut that blackberry. Please don't. I will promise you that I will by hand cull the entire space behind me, but do leave me some to cull because I have to do that. And I will, to the horror of many people, will just be mad and walk out towards the blackberry patch. No gloves, no clippers. I'll be barefoot because I have a unique lived experience that growing up, there was a large blackberry bramble between me and a friend. And my little 6 to 8 year old self would crawl up to the edge of the blackberry and just start pulling my way through to create a hole so that we could get to each other and sit under there and eat blackberries. It was like our summer haven. It is not unusual for me to go and attack a blackberry barefoot and barehanded. That, however, is weird. Like observably in and of itself, unless you have this very, very specific childhood narrative, most humans don't look at a blackberry and be like, I think you'd be a fun fight and I should grab you with my bare hands. Those two things are not always front and center to somebody else's mind. And while I will should myself all day long that, like, you, today's the day you should go fight a blackberry, for other people it has to be a could. And maybe you could do it barefoot if you really wanted to, but maybe you could have shoes on and maybe pants and long sleeves and some gloves. You maybe don't have to should it the way that I'm going to do it. But I equally do not want them to should me. Like, I don't want to be told you should go put on shoes. We're doing blackberries today. You should have long pants on. You should. I'm not afraid to bleed for some blackberries. We've been having this game for a minute in my life.
I love the idea of fighting blackberries. That is so awesome.
It's satisfying.
That is so awesome. Love it, love it. Yeah, should is a word that I've actively sought to remove from my interactions with other people.
Yeah.
Because I saw the damage that it could do. And I love the conversation that we had around it today. Absolutely fascinating. And I love all the directions that we took with it. A delight, a delight. Thank y'all so much for joining us on this should journey today. This is Neurospicy Dialogues. I am Kimberly.
And I'm Cara.
And we will see you very soon.
Bye.